quick comment on being a part of this event. Children's Hospital has always been something that we've supported in Nick's kids, and have a strong aspiration to continue to do so in the future relative to what they can accomplish and do to help young people. So I love this organization. I love what they do, and it's always a fun noontime to be here.
I know you might have, the execution with the fumbles and stuff on offense, but how did you feel about the game that Kiffin called and just the offensive game plan overall?
Well, I think the game plan was good, and I think that it was better when we executed it properly in the second half. We were able to create more balance, and I think we were able to make some explosive plays even in the first half. But let's just tell it like it is. You're not going to turn the ball over 4 times and have 9 penalties on offense and win against really good teams. And we think Florida is a really good team. Now, our team showed tremendous competitive character and resiliency to overcome these things, but that's still not what we really want to do as a team. So regardless of what the game plan is, that's an issue, and that's an issue that we got to get corrected.
I know you always strive for balance, but is this the type of season offensively you envision knowing the talent you have out on the perimeter?
I love this, the way we play. I always want to play this way. I want to take what the defense gives, and one of the things that we really like, and I like to do philosophically, we do now, and we talk about this a lot, is try to eliminate the other team having the opportunity to give you a negative play, because you don't have enough flexibility to either spit the ball out to a receiver or change the play and go in the other direction. And I think that's the one thing that we've done a really good job of so far offensively. I think Lane does a great job in planning that way, and the players have executed pretty well.
One of the things we hadn't seen in a while was the Wildcat offense. We saw 2 plays.
Three yards, so that's really, I think that's something that, I need to have a separate press conference about. Golly.
How much, Nick,
it was a part of the short yardage, for that game.
How much have you had to adjust your philosophy with so many teams rolling up so many yards and so many points now on what good defense is, A, and B, what it takes to be a championship team in terms of the need to be able to roll up a lot of yards and points?
Well, we still have high expectations for how we want to try to play defense. But I think the fast pace of play and the way college football is right now definitely favors the offense. That's why we see, the points that we see. I think you have to have a lot more patience on defense. I think your whole approach to how you prepare for a game has to be completely different than what it used to be. And I think we're getting a little better at that, and I think our players are getting a little more acclimated to it. But I do think the fact that we actually forced our offense to be a no-huddle team too has helped us on defense. Even though we don't go fast all the time, just the fact that we can practice against a no-huddle type theme rather than huddling up and then all of a sudden here's a game where you have to go no-huddle and the players aren't used to that routine of how they have to play. But I think it is imperative that you open the game up and you can score points. But the more you can keep the ball, when you play teams that are hurry up, no huddle, fast pace, the less they can wear your defense out. So I think it's even more than ever before important from a team execution standpoint when you play those type teams.
Nick, a part of the pleasure of having such a great team, everybody in state wants to play it. UAB, Jack State, Troy, South Al. What's your philosophy on scheduling for some of those teams from our state?
Well, I think when it's always been my philosophy. When I was at Michigan State, we always played a rotating Eastern, Western, Central. When I went to LSU, they had never done it before. I said, let's rotate the state schools. It's a lot of state interest and all that. Here I don't really think it's my place to make the decisions about whether we should or shouldn't do that. I'm not opposed to it, but I think that there's a philosophy that's above my pay grade that should make that decision. All right, and I'm fine with it however they decide that they need to do it relative to what's best for, the University of Alabama and the other schools in the state.
So many teams in this league are playing at a high level. You've got the SEC network now. Are we living in the golden age of SEC football right now?
Well, it's the golden age of the division, our division in the West. I mean, last week there were 5 teams in the top 10. This week there's 6 teams in the top 20. And I think Arkansas is really a lot better, and maybe at some point in time will prove that they deserve to be there. So I think consistency in performance and being able to improve is the key thing internally for us. But I do think it's great for the league and the players that play in the league to have the exposure that they get now. But with that comes some challenges in terms of making sure you're defined by who you are and not what everybody else thinks, because there's a lot more information out there about everything that's happening. And I think that takes some maturity on the player's part.
How's Blake's shoulder doing?
He's fine. You know, he'll probably be a couple days where we take it easy. I would say it's similar to, you know, AJ's situation last year, where, you know, he took a few days where he practiced but didn't throw much, then started putting him on a pitch count and bringing him back. But having a bye week this week's probably a good thing from that perspective.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.